Alright folks, bit of a hot one today, but we're out to do a couple things. First, I gotta get a new tire. I'm tired every day now. It's been going on for a while. Every day I've gotta stop at the gas station, my first stop. Not always for gas, for air. Today I got gas and air, but it's usually the air, and I've got to get it was like once a week, once a month, and once a week. Now it's like every day, so the leak has gotten worse. Got to get probably time for a new tire. And there's a lot of thoughts on motorcycle tires. Everybody has an opinion. I'll give you mine, of course. I'm sure you have yours, but I'll tell you my thought process. But first, I found a buffet. A lot of people have questioned the buffets we've been to before. Not questioned, but they just said, I would prefer something a little bit more moderately priced, and maybe something with Thai food. Not always the seafood and the high-end buffets, the lobster and the cracked crab and all that. I think it's quite reasonable. I think it's mostly Thai food. Let's go in and slop that down, and then we'll go out and get a tire.
Quite impressed. It's not a whole lot. It's like a salad bar over there where you first come in. They've got some fried rice, fried noodles, and all behind that. And then the main dishes are kind of right in the middle of the room. It's a beautiful room, though, by the way. I'm sat on like a couch, very soft, a real vacation for your bum. But there's tables and there's outside seating as well. I'll get to the outside in a second. But the main courses are kind of right in the middle, and there's a variety. But one of the things I'm very interested in, I said, what is this? It didn't look familiar at all. But we'll definitely showcase that later. He said, that's Rayong food. So it's a pork belly dish. Looks like maybe slow cooked pork belly in a dark sauce. It looks pretty good. We'll look at that. But outside even, you can sit outside, and it's not in the shade, and it's a little bit of a breeze today. It wouldn't be too hateful sitting outside at all. It's a toss-up almost today, but we'd elected for inside. But outside is a whole like noodle bar, so you can get a noodle soup or whatever. Lon's out investigating that. So we'll look at the whole thing. I'll show you the whole thing, what it looks like. There's a bar, there's free beverages up there. It's not like one of these buffets, you know, sometimes the buffets, especially when it's a reasonably priced buffet, they really gouge you on the beverage. That's not the case here. You got 3 beverages. The only thing I got so far is pumpkin soup. I just had to take a bowl of that. I took a taste just before I started recording this, but it's good. But I like my soup piping hot. It's not piping hot. It's barely hot. I'd like it hotter. But other than that, the taste is good. It's got the pumpkin-y. It's nice and thick, and it's got the pumpkin-y texture. Lon just brought the noodle soup. There's an egg in there. There's a whole egg in there. So pretty decent. I've not tasted it yet. I think it looks like she got like a tom yum broth. She got the small noodles. I think she got this for her. I'm just going to try a little bit. I'll tell you what. If you could eat about 5 bowls of that, that's your 250 baht worth right there. It's usually about 50 baht a bowl. I don't think you'd want to eat 5 bowls of that, but just saying, it's not going to be hard, I think, even for like an average person to get their 259 bahts worth here. I don't think so, but we'll see. So my first real plate, I got the special Rayong dish, the pork belly. Haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to try it in a second. I got to tell you though, my first instinct going up there with the salad bar, the salad bar that we usually go to is right next door, the Sizzler. This hotel is basically joined at the hip with the Central Plaza Mall here. And we're no stranger to the Central Plaza Mall. We come there and we love the Sizzler. It's usually though, and we're just there for lunch. We're not there for big steaks. I realize you can get a nice steak at the Sizzler too, but we usually just go for lunch and get the salad bar and a light entree. But it's usually 500-600 baht by the time we're out of there. This, and it's mostly salad. I usually get a little something small, but here they got salad. That looks pretty good. I got a salad and a lot of other food. It might be a better deal than the Sizzler is what I'm saying, but it's only Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But it is right on 36. If you're coming down from Pattaya, it's just, you'll see it on your right at the big Central Plaza Mall. You can't miss it. Hilton Garden, it's one of the tallest buildings on 36 as you start to get into Rayong. I think before Lon comes back, she got the spare rib soup. I'm gonna take one of her spare ribs. Talk about falling off the bone. I mean, that just fell off the bone. Oh. Lemongrass, a little bit sour. Just melted in my mouth. We'll try this real quick. This is the Rayong Food pork belly. One thing you have to watch out for, the cuisine in Rayong has its own little nuances. The big one is an ingredient, what's called gabit. Gabit. You usually don't see that in Pattaya, other places. Here it's pretty big. It's pretty big. So a lot of times you might get a dish that you like, but they put gabit in it here, and it changes the flavor, and you may not like it. So if you're ordering something, you always say no gabit, hold the gabit. But I was thinking it was in the dish. It's not. It doesn't have that flavor at all. The potato salad, creamy potato salad. And I loaded my plate up with the cashew chicken. All right, we're gonna dig in. Well, I went back, had to get some of that soup with those pork rib bones in it. It was fantastic. I think that was actually the star of the show. I had a bowl of that. The plate that you saw, and now I'm on dessert. I'll show you the dessert. Got some fruit. But one thing about the dessert, they've got bread pudding. I mean, that's like a old, I don't know, $1.99 cheap Las Vegas buffet specialty bread pudding.
This bread pudding is extra runny tonight.
It's not extra runny, though. The bread pudding here is not extra runny. In fact, the opposite, I would say it's extra firm. And Lon got some of the bread pudding, which I'm surprised. You know, I don't know what she knows about bread pudding, but she got it. The only thing is I don't see any raisins in it. Got to have raisins for the bread pudding. But anyway, you got the salad bar. There was some kind of pasta like an Alfredo. No, I think it was like a carbonara maybe. But there's a Western style pasta dish. Of course, the desserts, cakes, bread pudding, fruit, pumpkin soup. There's enough. It is some Western offerings. You could actually make an entire Western meal out of this. You have soup, you have salad, you have an entree, and desserts. So, but the Thai food actually is probably why you come. But if you, like I said, if you were coming with a group and somebody just was totally opposed to Thai food, they could actually make a meal out of what they got here and be happy with it, I think. Anyway, let's go get that tire. You know, since we've been here, it's rained and now the sun's back out and the road's dry, that quick. And we haven't been in here long. It's not like we're sitting in here 3 hours trying to min-max the buffet. Just done here maybe 20, 25 minutes and it's already, roads are dry from the rain squall. Got here, we rode on dry roads, but it started getting real cloudy and dark a couple blocks away. We might have got a couple drops, but now it's thunder and lightning and really threatening. Might need to buy one of these rain suits for the ride home. It's starting to rain right now as I record this, which is a perfect example for, I guess, the point I want to make with all this. Tires are always going to be a compromise. There's just no perfect tire for everything. You can get a perfect tire for the track, you can get a perfect tire for off-road, but to get one that's good for everything, that's where the rubber meets the road. That's where it's going to be a compromise. Pirelli Rosso family is very popular here. You can always find them. The tires that are on it are Rosso 3s, which are more super sport, more track oriented. Here, I like a tire that is not so lopsided for sport. I like some that's in the middle ground because days like that, you never know when you're going to hit rain. And we very well may be riding home in the rain today. Even if it's just for a couple minutes in a rain squall, whatever. Sometimes I've been up country riding and beautiful day, you get a minute of rain, you get soaked and then it's clear skies again. It's the way it is. But you're always going to have that rain. I used to see bikes for sale a lot of times in the US. People say, never seen a drop of rain. Maybe in a place like Arizona, Southern California, I might buy that. Maybe Nevada. But for the rest of the country, I would. Not where I lived in the mid-Atlantic. Because it's the same thing. You're going to go out, it's a beautiful day, all of a sudden it's a thunderstorm. I used to use a bike for 100% of my transportation, so rain, snow, sleet, or shine, I was on a bike. But it's laughable for somebody to think that they're never going to encounter a drop of rain while they're out on the road. So for that reason, I'm not going out on the track and everything. I just want a little bit more of a reasonable kind of middle of the road tire. So I'm going with the Rosso 2s, which are very close to the tire that comes with the bike originally from the factory. I can't find the ones that come on the bike. I think they're Bridgestones. But looking at the tread design and looking at the way they're rated, they're very close to a Rosso 2. So that's what I'm going with. I just think it's a little bit better of an all-around tire. That's what I use a 120 in the front, a 180 in the back, very common size for a big bike. They also make the Rosso series for scooters. So if you have a big scooter, you can get the same tire that I just got for your scooter. I think you can get most of the Rosso series, at least half of the Rosso series comes in the sizes for the big scooters. Maybe you don't get the super sport tire, which is basically no tread on it at all. I'll show you two sides of the spectrum here. Super sport track and muddy off-road. The two different sides, but you'll notice I'm kind of right in the middle. A little bit more middle leaning than the Rosso 3s that I have. That's nothing wrong with the Rosso 3s. If you have Rosso 3s, I'm not saying they're not good tires. They are very good tires. But I just think for the rain here, I'm going to go down a step to the Rosso 2s because they have a little bit better grip in wet roads than the Rosso 3s. Rosso 3s are more for dry road grip. And people will tell you that all the time. Oh, these have great grip. Yeah, but how are they in the rain? You know, a lot of times when people talk about tires, they're only talking about one aspect, the aspect of the tire that they're buying it for, where you're going to encounter all types of riding. You need to be able to stop as well as you can start and corner and everything else. So these will do me. These will do me. Price $8,700 everything on the wheel and out the door, which I think is a fairly good price because I think just buying them on Lazada, I think they're about they're usually around $8,000, $8,000 to $8,500. Buying them on Lazada, where you can find them. So decent here. We're at Rayong Big Bike, only a couple miles from where we had lunch. Really at the beginning of Rayong if you're coming from Pattaya. But I think the best selection of tires anywhere in the area. Very good selection of tires in stock. And I didn't call first or anything. I came and the guy said, "Oh, you really should get both tires replaced because the front one has a leak." He said the back one, even though it's not worn out or anything yet, he says it's due for a new one. And I always like to have both tires switched. You never want the front tire to take a turn the back won't take. That's the golden rule. Never put a better tire up front than you have in the back. But with a bike, even more important. But it's just better to have two new tires, and it should really ride nice with that. But anyway, they got a great stock of everything else in here. He's not started on it yet. He's got a couple bikes ahead of me. We'll see how long I wait here. I'm in no hurry because it's in full rain mode. Quite a rain, but it's over. Who knows when it'll restart? Wishful thinking at best. It's never over. It'll continue to rain. Anyway, one thing I forgot to mention, weight has a lot to do with it as well. A very heavy bike. I'm a heavier rider. A lot of two-up riding as well. So the soft compound tires with all that weight really wear out quick. You're lucky to get a year or a season out of a soft compound. But if you get a different blend of silica and rubber, a little bit harder of a compound, with the extra weight, etc., you can get 2 years maybe out of a set of tires, depending on your riding and how much you do. But we'll go home in the drizzle here. I'll try them out officially tomorrow in a clear sunny day. But we'll get home. But already they feel better. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the episode. Something else next time. But for this one, Gonna have to go ahead and leave it off right here.
And as usual, I'll thank you for watching. And until next time, bye for now.